I work for the University of Pennsylvania as Assistant Director for Opportunity and Access and also the first coordinator of Native American recruitment. I'm also a past councilwoman of the tribe. I've worked as their director for a number of years prior to working for the University of Pennsylvania.
Tina Pierce Fragoso is Nanticoke Lenni-Lenape from Bridgeton, New Jersey. Even in first grade, she found herself educating her classmates and her teacher about her people.
I certainly got in trouble in first grade when somebody says there are no Native people on the East Coast. And I said, well, wait a minute, I'm sitting right here. I really wanted to take the message of my people still being here. I was really fascinated with the field of anthropology because it allowed me to study Native people and for me to be able to tell the stories of my community.
Tina graduated from Princeton University, went on to Stanford to earn her master's degree, and is finishing up her doctorate. She's working hard to make sure the next generation has the Lenape culture to embrace.
Anishi Patama Se Emilion Gotnapo. It means thank you, Creator, for giving us this day.
It means dance with me, and I have it on my moccasins, and all my moccasins that I make, I always bead that on there as a little saying to myself to go out there and dance my best.
Because our people have always wanted to make sure that other people knew that we were here, but more importantly that our own communities continue to be Native people in the future, and that they would have the resources that they needed to make sure that they didn't lose that identity.
Local Delaware and Nanticoke Indian tribes encountered European explorers and settlers as early as the middle 15 and 1600s. As the settler communities grew, many Indian families migrated west and are located today in Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and Canada. Tina's ancestors, who remained here in our region, hid in plain sight, as they say, and survived as small communities within the churches.
Our existence was through the churches. We were one of the first tribes to be Christianized. And we've always had the toss-up between traditional and Christian life amongst the people in the tribe. We never knew how to adjust to that. And some of the things that in the church, we governed around family matriarchs, and we lost all that. And the elders in the church were the ones that kind of set the rules that we had to continue to live by when there's a change. And then the tribe decided that we're starting to drift away from who we are. And they wanted to do a formal tribal government. The struggle then was to keep the families together, because that was the main reason why we had to take it out of the church. The families were starting to drift away. And the traditional people and the Christian people had to come to some kind of compromise. And we did it.
Today, the church continues to play a vital role in the Bridgeton community, embracing and incorporating Lenape culture and beliefs into its services.
I would come here with my grandmother. My great-grandparents actually have a window off to the side that is sort of an honoring plaque. They're very involved in this church community. You know, if you go out to the cemeteries here and down the street, they're filled with our tribal community. This is a special place for me. It's a place that I feel home.
Tribal members who remained in our area have had other battles as well. Without their knowledge, census takers in the late 1800s listed them as Negro or Black, removing their Native American identities with the stroke of a pen.
And in Sussex County, they had Indians on them, and there's copies of up to 1930 where they had crossed the Indian out and put Nig in there. And they did the same thing in Bridgeton. The only thing they put, went from C's, like I said, to M's, and mulatto to black. By the 1900s, they were all black. BL, every one of them. I'm still upset about that. And I was probably in my 25 or 30 before I realized it.
Identity as a Nanticoke Lenape person remains an important issue today, especially when it comes to gaining federal recognition. This means the tribe must show a continuous tie to the land and meet a number of other criteria.
Not so much because we need it to validate who we are, but for us to be able to make sure that our children are able to identify in the future.
In 1995, the tribe set aside 28 acres of sacred land where many of their families lived for centuries. A new tribal center was dedicated there in 2007.
We have the documentation, we have the history, and we will have federal recognition. I think we will.
Federal tribal status would provide educational and health benefits and protection of their sacred sites.
There are people that had to stay behind, that had to make sure that we had these places of important ceremony, that we had these places where our people have been buried for centuries and centuries and centuries, the places that other people who left and were removed come back to because they can feel the power of those places. I want my children to feel that power because they can draw strength from that, because it's as much of their past as it is their future.
We need our youth to really stand up and get active, because if they're not active, we will lose a lot of the things that, what little we still have as Indian people today. So, yeah, that's why it's very important for us to stay political, stay politically active, and hold on to everything we can.
I'd want to pass on the language and the different traditions like dancing and their history. Why, I want to make sure that they know that being Native American and letting out who they are and not being afraid to is very important.
I want my daughter to be able to be proud of her people and to know the fought that they have, the fight that had to be fought over the years. I want her to be able to hold her head up high, to be accepted in the world, not like when I was coming up and got laughed at and ridiculed for saying that I was Native American, because everyone would tell me there's no Indians around here, or you don't look Indian. Well, we come in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
What I hope for this future generation is that they work for it every day, that they understand that they carry their ancestors with them, those that are still here, those that have gone by, and that those struggles continue with them in a good way, and so that they don't become complacent.
We don't say goodbye, we say see you later, so the Peach Canal.